The Texas legislative session now in full swing. Here's 25 News Now Sunrise anchor Caroline Astrain with catching up on the latest with Texas Tribune Capitol reporter Renzo Downey.
It's that time of week where we check in with Renzo Downey. He's a Texas Tribune Capitol reporter here to tell us the latest on the Texas legislative session. Welcome, Renzo.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's great to see you. And I understand Senate Bill 147, authored by our very own Lois Cloakhorst, has passed the Senate. What can you tell us about this bill?
Yeah, so this has been the main bill that Senator Cloakhorst has been working on this session. Drew a lot of controversy early on because it would, as it was originally filed, it would have banned people from China, Russia, North Korea, some of these antagonistic countries to the United States. It would have banned them from buying land in Texas, and that would include dual citizens. But she's spent several months and weeks working on this bill, trying to get it to an acceptable point, and just this past week got it to pass the Senate. So that was a contentious topic in the Senate this past week.
How did the votes turn out? What was it wasn't unanimous, was it?
No, although there was some party split on that, some crossing party lines. But I mean, ultimately, the bill got to a point where it's not, dual citizens aren't wrapped up in it anymore. So it's just going to be people who are from these countries labeled by the United States, and it's going to be businesses from those countries as well. And it's just restricted to like agricultural land, timberland, these like agriculture and economic type uses of land. So she really tailored this bill down from what it was originally filed as.
So it wouldn't impact, Russian, Chinese immigrants who currently already own land, or would it?
Well, it would just be land sales, right? So it's not anybody who owns land already.
Well, great. And what other bills are top of mind from this week's session?
Yeah, well, in the House, they took up a bill that's been a major push by the governor and the lieutenant governor over in the Senate, and that's been to restore the second-degree felony punishment for illegal voting. And that was a change. It had initially been that way, and then last session, 2 years ago, the House kind of had this whole effort to, let's bring it down to just a misdemeanor. And now that we're here 2 years later, the lieutenant governor and the governor, they're both saying, no, we want it back as a second-degree felony. So the House has kind of relented, and they're set up to pass that bill.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for the update. We look forward to hearing from you each week. Thank you so much, Renzo.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, back to you at the desk.